Welcome back. With 10.4, I added math channels to the telemetry tool, and in this video, I'm going to show you just a quick overview how they work and how you can start using them yourself. So when you have started the telemetry tool 10.4, then you can go to tools and then manage math channels. So when you open this, opens a dialog like that, and then you can see you have to always remember there's the help. You can go to help, and there's math channels. There's lots of quite long description on how they work. But when you open the dialog, the first thing you will see there's a table which contains the same channels that are available in the save files. So this way, these math channels they work with the live data and also with the saved files, also with the fastest laps and the saved fastest laps. So here you can see all the possible channels that you can use for the basics data. You can sort this thing based on name, based on the math name. So you can realize that the sort of name used in the formulas, this always starts with the B or uppercase B and then has the name of the channel. And then you have there's the list of the units. So it's like the coordinates, they are meters, and speed is kilometers per hour. And that if you really need that, but you can browse through this. There's lots of things here. So this is the thing, and then you want to add something, you choose here, and then you press add. And then you can also use the math channels on as part of the equations of the formulas. There's lots of things you can add there, and if you add something, that will be listed here. And then you can see always here, you can see the math channel, what it really is. So if you really want to see what's the break balance left, you can see what's there. And then there's a list of operands. This is at this point, this is quite short, but you can also find all the operands in the help, and you can add them by typing them into the formulas. And then there's also simple filtering. So you can decide if you want to limit which data show. You might make like a throttle, and then show throttle which is have more than, like, for example, 75, and then you check here use. So then we'll be using this filter for the data. So and then here will be the formula, which will be the associated with the math channel, and then there's the name of the channel. Then here's a button, you can add that channel into the system, and then there will be 8 user-defined traces which you can assign any of the math channels. So this way, and then you can see here in the 10.4, you will see here's the user-defined channels, and you can see I have put 2 here which are already visible, and you can see they are visible here. And then when you are ready, you can save. And then if you want to save and exit, you can do that and then exit it without saving. So the way it works is that, let's say that you want to know the wheel speed difference of between the 2 rear wheels. So you choose one here, so wheel speed rear right, and then you click add. And you can see, because this is using the data from the last package of the blue lap. So you can see that the wheel speed was about this one. And then we can take here the operand. Well, we take minus, and then we put add. So you can see here's the minus sign now, and then we take this wheel speed from the rear left, and then we add that. And now you can see that on the blue laps last package, it was 1.15 was the difference. So now if you would like to, let's say that you want to see the wheel speed difference only when the throttle is more than 75, then we click here, like we already did that, and then we give you the name. Let's see, give this name wheel speed rear diff. Just now, and then you just click here add channel, and you can see something happened, and we can actually find that the one we actually just added is listed here, and then you can see what's the formula you can see here. So now then what we can do, we can take let's take the UDF5 here. Let's just make it a little bit wider. But then you can take here, add to the 5th user-defined channel the wheel speed rear left, and now we'd add it here, and then you take 5, and then you can see it comes here, and then you can make it a little bit bigger. So we now, and you can see that because we had the limitation that only when throttle is more than 75, so then you can see the lines here. This way you can sort of, it's easier to limit which data your system will show, and this is of course with the ACC on Snetterton, and then you can always, folks, look at the exact data. We can use the quick zoom with the 2 mouse clicks, and then you can see a little bit how, like what happens with the wheel speed difference with the on the backside. And but this is the very simple way of adding the formulas. And when you add the formulas, you can also type here. You can add here +5, or you can use numbers, or then if you really like, you can maybe put here a square root for that. And there's lots of things. And just look at the help. There's lots of information on the different uh, operands you can have there, but there's lots of things you can do, and this is sort of around the sort of first version of how the math channels would work. There's a little bit filtering available, but no smoothing or anything. If you really need to do some smoothing, you can try to use the graph details, and then if you do very hard calculations on the system, then if the drawing takes more time than 0.2 seconds, you will get the notify here, and then if it takes more than half a second, you get this turns red. But the easy way when you're doing testing, you can always go here and reduce the graph details, so it will take, as you can see, the time it takes, it takes much less, and it won't change much of the graphics, but it's a very easy way when you're doing things and moving things around. It's easier to use, so you have a bit less detail, so it's much faster. One thing you might want to do is when you're doing these graphs, and try to make sure that the values are between between 0 and 100, because that's because the sliders here are sort of based on that the value is between 0 and 100, so you might do need to use some normalization. I might add some normalization functions later here when I start really understanding what are the best ways of using these math channels. But it's very easy. So basically what you do, you can add the channels here, or you can just type in into this box or the text field. You can type in your formulas, and then you just add the channel. Of course, you first put the name here, add the match channel. If you are updating, let's say that you want to update the same thing. Let's say now we have this one. You can click the edit, and it will update the thing here, all the settings. Then you can make changes. If you don't make the changes to the name, and you click the add match channel, and then you save, then it will overwrite the previous math channel if it has the same name. So always, if you put the same name, then it will be overriding the old ones. But this is what you would expect to happen, and there's no warning on that. The only warning is that if you try to do recursive functions, that you put here some math channels and then you do some other stuff, and then that might actually break the whole thing. So there's some warnings here, but you could also add here the minus, and then we put here, so you can see if you take away the formula from here, and then it just actually becomes 0. But there's lots of things you can do with this, and I know that there's, like, I've been a little bit looking at how you can look at the brake balance, if the brake balance is right, looking at the different kind of formulas, but you can do that. But there's lots of things, and this is first version, and let's see what other people can also come up with this. And this is sort of a very easy, nice way to sort of expand the existing data into something else. But this is a very simple video, and most likely later when I really dive into this type of things, I'll most likely make another video on more detailed things, how you could do some nice, interesting analysis. But this is a good start. So I hope you enjoyed this and start using this as well. Okay, thanks, bye, ciao.